Well, hello. I had to check Facebook, make sure we were broadcasting. Thank you guys for joining us. Tonight we have Ecto, Mike, and Grace from Mesa, Arizona. How are you guys doing?
Right. Good. Great. Thanks for inviting us on. I appreciate it.
Oh, well, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time out to join this weirdness. We appreciate it.
We just start down dinner real quick. We're like,
I did the same thing. I looked up, it was like 5 o'clock. I was like, oh, I gotta cook. Crystal's hungry. She come in here and take me by my hand and bring me in the kitchen.
I forgot to feed Loki.
The other day, she picked up a plate and handed it to me. So I'm like, okay, baby, you're hungry. You know, my baby's nonverbal, so she has her ways of letting me know stuff. But yeah,
an empty plate is definitely a thing.
So, question: are you guys from Arizona?
No, I'm originally from New York.
I mean, LA.
Oh, say that again, Donna. I'm sorry.
Okay, Shawndel.
Oh, I'm from California.
I think we have a delay.
Might be a little delay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long you guys been in Arizona?
Oh, so I've been in Arizona 15 years.
Oh.
I'm thinking.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Been here 15 years. I lived in New Mexico for about the same amount of time. And then, gosh, I'm going to date myself, but I grew up in New York and I lived there until I was like 21 or so. So, yeah, I've been out here long enough to call myself, a Phoenician, Arizonian, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Well, you've been here longer than me.
Were you in the paranormal when you were in New York?
So, like most of us, I wasn't, of course, investigating yet, but I grew up in a haunted house. The long story short, where we lived, my parents were just renting a house. Something about them raising the rent, so they wanted to buy a house. So the house literally across the street from us, the gentleman who lived there, passed away. His sons got the house and then put it up for sale, and my parents bought it within just a few months of this gentleman passing away in the house.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, so where we lived was it was activity all the time. So we kind of got accustomed to it. But, the cool thing is we knew who the spirit was. So, we would be able to address him and things. And, we can get more into that in a bit. But, some crazy things happen there. So I've always been interested and accustomed to it. That's why, we can go into a haunted place and I'm not scared. It's just, it's just something I'm used to and it excites me. And maybe it reminds me of my childhood. Who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't do the paranormal stuff actually until, with equipment, let's say, until like a little over a year ago. But we've always been inclined to go into creepy places and use, our natural senses and kind of see what we feel and what experiences we have.
Very nice.
He just don't like the fake haunted houses.
Way to call me out, Donna. Way to call me out.
No, because I was going to ask you, because my friends, being a medium and paranormal, they're like, you go first. And I'm like, it doesn't work that way. I can actually see them. Bouncing out is not, I know when a ghost is coming.
I think it comes I don't want to say fear of haunted houses, but being a big guy, right? So I'm 6'4", 250 pounds, right? So whenever I go to haunted houses with friends or family, they always push me in first, and I always had to go first and experience these jump scares first, and it just gave me some anxiety or something. And I'm like, okay, man, I'm done with it. I'm done with it. I'm not going in those haunted houses anymore.
Dude, I grew up in Southern California. I moved here in high school, but moved back as an adult. And we had Not Scary Farm. So there's 7 haunted houses in the one location. And we even knew people who worked there. And I mean, they're like the ones you paid $30 a person here, but you pay the entry fee. And they have just walking around the park, like sliders, like people who come up on these screechy slide on their knees right at you. And I'd go with my friends, and I was always the person pushing people. Like jump scares, things were not my thing. I don't watch horror movies. I just don't like being scared. I mean, I have, but
I love horror movies.
It's funny, at the gathering of the ghouls yesterday, we went through the haunted house and Colleen ended up in front somehow. She was like, I'm the littlest one, how did I get up front?
Because she's a medium.
you just happen to walk in first.
Yeah, it's just funny. And what's weird, I remember one haunted house, somehow I thought I was grabbing onto my guy friend. I came out, and it was I didn't know who he was, and I said, "I'm so sorry." He goes, "That's okay. You were holding on so tight. I didn't have the heart to tell you."
Oh, so you grabbed the wrong person. Oh, that's
I grabbed the wrong person. I couldn't see.
That's too funny. Yeah. So because you lived in a haunted house, is that why you end up getting into the paranormal?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When you grow up in something like that, it was kind of normal, I guess, for me, and the funny thing is hey, any friends that may be watching this, we didn't really tell our friends or other family members that it was haunted, but now you guys know you hung out in a haunted house.
Right.
But yeah, so, and then once I get older and going through, like I said, I don't know, there was a lot of forest, woods there. We'd go, in there, any sort of abandoned water towers, But then I always got to give props to Jason Hawes, when Ghost Hunters came out, and I'm like, dang, have equipment for this stuff. This is something you can actually investigate. And then ever since then, that's kind of what spawned me out into wanting to now search it, because eventually the spirit in our house that I grew up in, I moved in there when I was about 5-6 years old, and he was active, I would probably say, for a good 10 years.
Wow.
And then, the activity kind of stopped. So I don't know if he was comfortable with us. It took that long. Maybe he finally moved to the 5th dimension or wherever it is that they go. So yeah, I was just like, all right, now it's normalized in my mind, and we got to go out and find them.
What kind of activity did you have, Mike? Like slamming doors, finding pennies?
So the first sign, and mind you, we lived right across the street, right? So I don't even know if U-Haul was around, but we carried everything with muscle, right across the street.
Okay.
So my uncle at the time, he was a bodybuilder and he was a tough guy, and he's like, I'm going to carry this mattress and box spring right across the street by himself. And so he carried it over there, and then he couldn't open the front door, yelled for help to open the front door, and the front door opened for him to be able to carry in the mattress and box spring. So that was the first instance, but other things quickly after, my mom there was still a lot of things in the house. He had a library of books from the early 1800s on a bookshelf that were still there. There was a lot of stuff that was still there. So my mom and dad had cleaned out the house, cleaned out a lot of stuff. Of course, anything like that we kept. I think they ended up selling it for $1,000 or something back in the 80s, but anyway, after they cleaned the house and we were moving stuff in, my mom finds, his name was Mr. Wood. They found his wallet in the medicine cabinet in the main bathroom, and she had just cleaned out the whole bathroom.
Oh, wow.
Some other things were windows opening by themselves, coming home to your beds being unmade. I saw a partial
Never short
apparition.
sheeted though, right?
What's that?
I said never short sheeted though, right?
No, and they never made the beds. I was praying for that. Yeah, that would have been nice. I saw a partial apparition. We had a basement, so it was always creepy. It was a type of basement that it was like 15 stairs, but you took 2 to go up and down it. You know, it just gave you that weird feeling in there. But one of the craziest stories is let's see, it was probably late 70s, right when Star Wars was starting, was pretty popular. And I had an a remote control R2D2. I call it a doll, but a remote control R2D2 figure. And it was in the middle of the night, and the thing just started going beep, 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 and started moving all around my bedroom. Now, my parents' bedroom was just on the other side of the wall of mine. So I was, Mom, Dad, I was, banging on the wall, like, get your butts in here, what's going on? And they came running in, opened the door, turned on the lights, and then the R2D2 fell over on its side. So I had told them what was going on, and my dad picked it up. Didn't believe me because there was no batteries in it. There was no batteries in the remote. There was no batteries in the figure either. So yeah, that's the epitome of haunted dolls right there.
Right.
It was plastic. Yeah. So that's some of the craziest stuff that happened. But as the activity got lighter and lighter, it was mainly, my brother would complain all the time. His room was in the basement. God bless him. But he'd be sleeping in the middle of the night and his window would just open up halfway, or what have you. And we got to the point where he'd just yell, "Stop it, stop opening my window," and then just close it. So it was so normalized. It's funny.
That sounds like me at night, because it always sounds like somebody's walking above my head in my room, and then I hear noises in the bathroom, and it wake me up. I'll be like, would you stop? You're disturbing me.
Trying to sleep.
All kinds of stuff. Shawndel, you ever lived in a haunted house?
Yeah, well, maybe. So I was raised Mormon, so I've always believed in spirits and ghosts. I mean, the whole religion, the guy sees 2 personages that are spirits to start, right? So, and I've always, believed that, and when you're Mormon or a lot of Christian or different religions, it's not looked at like that, like how we investigate. It feels taboo almost, but it's not like what's to say. Well, I guess the Bible, whatever, but different things say spirits will only come certain ways. But so I've always believed. But the house that I lived in that had been, I would say, I had an experience in this house. I was an adult and had moved back to California in my 20s, and I was there by myself. And I was trying to sleep, and the back door opened, the kitchen door. It was a metal, like there was a door, and then one of those metal screens, storm door. And so I could hear it open, and someone come through the kitchen and down the hall. And this is a little 2-bedroom house. And I looked, and there was a black, evil, like shape person. What do we call shadow? A person, shadow figure, and I felt like I was scared. I started crying, and I was scared, and I told it couldn't be there and commanded it to leave, and it wasn't allowed to be in my home and my presence, and I'm turning away and just crying, and it left. It went away. And the weird thing about this, the weirdest thing about this is so I was in my 20s. I had also lived there with my mom and dad. This is a house I was renting from my grandparents. So when I was a child, like 3 years old, we lived there with my mom and dad and 4 siblings. And so my dad worked at like 2 a.m. So he went to go to work, and 20 minutes after he left, my mom heard the screen door open. Someone came through. The same exact thing happened. Wow. He looked down the hall. This man is standing in the hall. And she didn't know this happened to me until like a few months, last year, when I was talking to her about us doing the paranormal investigating and things.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that it happened to her 20 years before. But my uncle had lived there at some point before her and after, but before they did. And he had been a drug addict, and we think it's someone that overdosed in the house from a heroin overdose that kept coming back. So my mom had told him at the time, her brother, his name, doesn't live here anymore. This is not a party house, and you're not allowed to be here. I command you to leave in the name of Christ. You need to get out of my house. Like however she did it. And she's worried because across the hall, she knows there's 4 little kids sleeping. And we were there. But I just remember being terrified and feeling like I was being punished. Like I didn't know. I'd never seen, well, I had seen shadow people before, but not like that, not coming to me, not with that feeling of malicious.
Yeah.
But growing up, I had like so many, I would say more like positive spiritual experiences, and just with my family, my grandpa, we would say, like, we called him a visionary man. Like he would see things and be able to tell you things that happened, that were going to happen and in the future, and different things like that. But the only haunted house and I wouldn't say it was really haunted. It was that one experience in that house. Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
But just always, but I've always believed and known there's more out there, and it's really cool being able to see it and have other people,
be a part of it. Yeah, we can tell people. That's the best. In our community, we can tell people these stories, and they don't look at you like you're weird. You're crazy.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, oh no, I've been through something like that too. Let me tell you, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
My grandma had a poltergeist in the house that we grew up in.
Oh wow.
I never shared this with you. So apparently when we were living with my grandma, it was an older house on Wasatch, and Mom would tell us, and even Grandma said she'd come in and the kitchen chairs would all be in a circle, and the drawers would be open, the cupboards would be all open, and they didn't know, they weren't afraid of it, which is interesting to me. I guess inherently, I think my grandma was gifted, so I think she knew. Yeah.
I would say that house before the one from when I was 3 was haunted as well. I was just too little to know or understand.
Mm-hmm.
My sister and I had ghost friends that we talked to. We'd sit at the table, we'd pretend, and looking back now, it was probably more than as a child. You guys have great imagination, things. I'll tell you, I believed in like the tooth fairy for so long, because one day I looked, I had like tooth under the pillow, and I looked up and out the window, and there was it was a positive color, like blue, white, pink, like one of those light colors there, and coming closer and closer and closer, like even longer than Santa Claus. Like I believed in this fairy collecting. I know, and I don't know why. I mean, I obviously that's not logical, but I was like, I saw something coming like towards us, towards the window when I was little, and it was in that first house we moved when I was like 4 to the other one. Well,
you probably saw it. That was probably, that's, I mean, I've seen fire fairies, and I have seen fairies. So they do exist. Some people can see them. But when you're young, you get that, you have that sight, and some people just grow out of it, or like me, I just, went overboard with it.
You accepted it and moved on. Is there a location that you guys have been to that absolutely scares you?
That's going to be a rough one. So people ask me that all the time. Like, have you ever genuinely been scared? And this is crazy to say that it was with you, Donna, at Sasco. So and I'll tell you, when we were at Sasco, I didn't feel much energy going on, like generally, but when I took my night vision camera and I walked off by myself into the basement of what we think may have been an old hotel or whatever it was, I generally got like this anxious, I took a deep breath type feeling. And I had to just shake my head and say, you're Ecto Mike, you're not going to be scared here. Everything's fine. And then I continued through. But like, it wasn't quite like I froze, but it was close. And I've never really had that in any other location, because generally, like, fear to us turns into excitement, and we're like, yeah, something happened. But that one generally got me, and I don't know what it was, because I didn't feel like an energy, like a malicious energy. It was just like a strong something that made me stop in my tracks, take a big breath, and shake it off and just keep walking.
Yeah.
So that's one place.
Scared. Oh, sorry. I said Lamerta said Mike's scared.
Yeah. But not really scared. I mean, some of the other places like that are just, like, oh my God, you could feel it, for sure. It was like Queen Mary, like the engine room, Queen Mary, like that was insane. The feeling in that engine room.
The Queen Mary was not when Mike and I went, but I had gone maybe in 2005, I want to say 6, but it was the first year they ever did their haunted house. Like they do a big Halloween thing, and they add in like the scary people and the makeup, and they even have props and all those things. I will tell you, I was scared going through that, but that was a haunted house, not like due to the haunted, like the ghost things. But yeah, well, and I don't know, I really don't feel like it was scary. Something one of our friends said after made it a little worse. But when we were at the Pinell County Cemetery and I was doing the Estes session, that was like one of the first times I'd done it. And I know at the end, remember, I was like, and Donna was there with us, but it kept saying, go, get out, go. Right. And I finally pulled the headphones off. I ripped them off, and I'm like, we got to go.
That was where I caught that picture of that orb, too.
Yeah,
that was weird.
And then later, go ahead.
No, I'll just say that was crazy. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, later, I had a friend tell me, she's like, I won't go there after dark because of things my friend who's like, her friend who sees things and spirits and different things said it was creepy after dark. So that made me more like nervous in retrospect, but whatever was there. I mean, I wasn't like scared like we're running out, but I was like, oh, I'm done. Whatever is here does not want us here anymore.
Yeah. I don't know if scared's a word we use anymore. You're so used to it, normalized. You're not really scared, but it's more of an energy drain, or like, like it's hard to explain. You guys know.
Oh, I know, because we were in Gleason one time in that trailer where the ladies buried in the porch, and it was me, my sister, Yadi, and Michael. I don't know if he was with us or not. It was like 4 of us. I don't remember who all was with us, but we had the equipment case. Yadi's equipment case was open, and we were doing. I had the portal session going, and we were getting stuff through the portal. And I was like, "Well, is it okay if we're here? If it's not, let us know." And her equipment case slammed closed, and the freaking door opened up. I was like, we'll leave.
I wasn't at that one.
Yeah, it was me, my sister, Yadi, maybe Sherry. I think Sherry might have been with us, because she usually goes on stuff like that.
Yeah, that trailer is definitely like, I would call myself, what do they call it, clairsentient. Like, I have good, I can feel what's around me and the energies in the room. But that trailer, not talking about Bigfoot's trailer, that one you're talking about, definitely, I'm like, I could feel it, and I could tell you exactly where in that trailer the energy was coming from. It was so strong.
Oh yeah, awesome. I think it was the front part of the trailer.
Not the master,
through the portal, there were male voices screaming to me to get out, and it was crazy. I'm like, okay.
Oh, we do have to point out though, one time we were truly scared was in that trailer, because we were walking in there and feeling that energy that we were just describing, just with our EMF detectors, getting a baseline, walking through. And there was a pigeon perched up above the microwave in the kitchen. We had no idea. Come flying right by us, took a shit like right by us, and then flew out the front door. And we screamed, dude. And then the people came running like, "Are you guys okay? Are you guys okay?" We're like, "Yeah." It was a stupid pigeon.
I'm laughing because it happened to us too that night.
Oh, to this
one in the other room. We're like, "What the hell is that?"
Oh, that's truly scary. Yeah, that was scary. Yeah, and scarring. Yeah.
We all ran at American Flag. Do you have that sound bite, Donna?
Yeah, but if I play it on my phone, you won't be able to hear it.
Oh, okay.
You talking about the siren?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were at the American Flag Ranch in Oracle, and it was me and Michael, my sister, and Alicia. Mm-hmm. So we had the portal going, and all of a sudden, you know, it was quiet. You can hear Michael in the background go, you know, you can communicate with us through this device. And all of a sudden, this noise came through, and it scared the crap out of Michael and Alicia. You can hear them go, oh, you know, you can hear them scream. Me and my dumb ass, I'm like, what the hell is that? Yeah. So it was a siren.
Yeah.
And it was one of those, it sounded like a hand crank siren, like an air raid siren.
Air raid siren. What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it went on for like damn near a minute. And we were like, I was like, could you stop that, please? And it started winding down. And then the guy that I bought the portal from, I had asked him, I was like, I played it for him. I was like, you ever heard anything like that? He was like, no, I can't explain that. So it was crazy. Yeah. Eldon and I had to look it up on YouTube to see what it was, but it was a hand crank air siren.
Yeah, and as far as I know, somebody can have one of those, but air raid sirens aren't a thing really that much anymore. Maybe like, isn't like a tornado or a siren like sounds similar to that? But I don't know. That's weird. Why would you have that there? You know?
Yeah.
And it was what 12:30 in the morning. Yeah, it was like 12:30 in the morning.
Right, into a portal that scans stations. It wouldn't be a continuous. How long was it? A minute or so?
Yeah, about a minute or so. Yeah.
Yeah, weird.
Next time I see you, I'll have to play it for you. It's on my phone.
Okay.
But yeah, that was crazy. There was when my daughter was a baby. My ex-husband and I, we lived in this apartment in Harvey, Illinois. And I'll never forget it. He's sitting in the living room and he's eating a plate of spaghetti. All of a sudden, he drops his plate and he takes off out the room. And I'm in the kitchen. I'm looking at him. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you? He goes, somebody just walked past the window. I'm like, that's not possible. We're on the second floor, dude. He was like, no, there was a lady. And he described her. And I'm like, okay, whatever. But no, that was before she was born. We went to Niagara Falls when I was like 8 months pregnant. And my mom stayed at the house with my oldest son. He was like 7. So when we got back, she said, never leave me alone in this apartment again. I was like, why? What happened? The way my son's bedroom was, she was sitting on the bed and she could look down the hallway and the bathroom was right there to the right. Oh, she saw this woman come down the hallway, turn and go in the bathroom. And we never told her what Leroy saw. And she described the same woman that he did that went past the window. So when Ariana was little, I got up in the middle of the night to go get her a bottle. And I'm coming down the hall, and all of a sudden the hair on my neck just stand up. I could feel somebody behind me. And I turned around. I was like, what the hell? And it didn't scare me, it just creeped me out. And I went in the room like, like what the hell was that?
The heebie-jeebies.
And I know it gave me the heebie-jeebies. And that was before I started going on the ghost tours. I think it was before I started going. So yeah, it creeped me out. I was like, ew, what the hell? So I was like,
now you look forward to that.
Yeah. Mom was like, nope, never leave me in here again.
Oh man.
So I was going to ask you were talking about the Queen Mary. Do they allow investigations on the Queen Mary? Or do you?
So your TV show with lots of money.
The way they do it is essentially they have all of the haunted rooms either locked up or rentable, right? I saw Colleen come in, so I can't say too much here. But there's one room in there that you can reserve and rent overnight. But the popular areas like the pool room, the rope room, things like that are locked up, and you can only access them on a paid ghost tour. Okay. Now, what we and we did ask at the front desk. I mean, we had our equipment and told them, is it okay if we set up for an investigation? They said you have to have the right permits and all that stuff. However, they do allow you free roam of the ship.
except for the closed off area,
except for the pool area
and the boiler room.
and the boiler room and the rope room. Now, like some areas, like the rope room is right outside, right next to the speakeasy. So you can enter the speakeasy and they allow handheld equipment. So we were running like some of those apps. So we were running EMF detectors, K2, stuff like that outside, just trying to, get that sort of thing. We were able to, like some of the, sorry, Queen Mary, if you're listening, but some of the housekeeping left some doors open to the giant ballrooms and stuff that aren't normally accessible. So we were able to go in there. So you can't really set up like a full-on investigation, but as long as it's non-invasive to other people, they'll let you have handheld stuff. And you essentially have most free rooms. I mean, you can't get in that front ballroom. It's that one right at the front where there's the white lady or something was up there.
The back of the boat.
Yeah, maybe it's the back. I don't know. I built a model of the Queen Mary. I should know that. But it's great.
Rooms. She rented one of the haunted rooms that she's going next month. Well, we were all going to go, but unfortunately, my finances didn't come through like I wanted to, so I'm not going to be able to go. But hopefully, by the end of the year, I'm going. She said, "Let me know, and I'll go back."
My mom and dad just went recently, and she had some crazy experiences there. There must be more than one ballroom, I'm thinking.
There's a few. So
she went to California she lives in Utah, so they went and stayed there for a couple nights to go to her 50-year high school reunion, which wasn't there. It was somewhere else, but back when she didn't go to prom, but had she gone to prom, it was at the Queen Mary at a ballroom. So after one night, my dad was in the room and she just left and was walking around with her little EMF reader, right, K2, and got in an elevator and it opened into the ballroom, like the doors of the elevator. Oh, and this was not the ballroom we were in because there was no elevator opening into a ballroom there. And she just knew this is where my prom would have been had I gone, and not been pregnant, moved to Utah, whatever. But that was where her and she walked in. She could see. She said, I could see a few couples dancing, and I felt like they were just there for me. And she called me so many times over the last 3 weeks since they've been home, like wanting me to explain to her what happened to her there. And I'm like, exactly what you told me. Like, there's not, I can't tell you there was some divine meaning to it because really these experiences are here, they are personal and whatever it was. And she said, if we went back there and I was to show you the elevator, you wanted me to show you the elevator I got in, what floor the ballroom was on. She's like, none of it. The elevator numbers weren't even the same as they are in but being there, if you go, some of the floors are letters, some are numbers, like they're just very, they're like, so she wouldn't be able to show me or tell me where she went or how she got in there. And I'm like, then I, fully believe like that is an experience that happened to her in there. And that the Queen Mary is one of the most fun haunted places we'd ever been because we did set up and did a live from there. Go away.
Yeah. Sorry, kid.
Oh, yeah.
We're trying to give them hand signs.
Know what you're saying. Okay, but so we went and we had done the ghost tour, the tour ahead of time. And one of the spirits they were talking about, Mike really felt a connection with. And there was another one that I was like, well, this one, and so we went into, there's a bathroom where they say on the main floor, Holly, if you're listening, plug your ears. Yeah. Kind of, you go behind the desk. And this captain used to, he's very nice, friendly. He walks around, people see him and think he's somebody who's worked there. Like they said, guests will interact with him. Yeah. Well, I went into this bathroom and he didn't like it when women went in that bathroom because it used to only be a men's bathroom and women weren't even allowed on that part of the ship when he was there. But the thing, my K2 started going off. So we invited him back I told him what room we were in and what time and like to come. And we figure you'll get a lot of activity on the Queen Mary, which is why it's one of our favorite places because these spirits have seen this equipment, whatever you're doing in your room, they know how to interact through it. because like, you know, we'll go to places like the Pinal Cemetery or some of these others where we're setting up a portal or a spirit box, and this is brand new to the spirits.
Right.
But at the Queen Mary, anything you can bring that you're going to be doing that's non-invasive, they know how to manipulate it because they've been doing it for years. That's at least what we were feeling and getting.
That's what we feel.
Because we got information. In fact, with my mom, when she was there the other day, she's in the hall by the speakeasy, and her K2 is going off, and she thinks that you talked right to it, and then the spirit responds to you. And I'm like, okay, that's not quite how it is, but yeah. But she's there, and she's holding in her hand like, you know, like this and talking, and then somebody will walk by and it would stop. And then somebody later walked by and they're like, oh, you are ghost hunting, you have this thing, and the equipment, the K2 would go off again. But when somebody's just passing or doesn't comment on what she's holding, it would stop. And yeah, so it like the spirit doesn't want to embarrass or whatever, you know, what's going on. But yeah,
when we were in Oracle, when everybody was in the room, the REM pod kept going off. It's like it didn't like everybody there, and then when everybody left, it just quit. And the same thing with the kids too. We're like, okay, they don't like this crowd.
Yeah, that and this last time when we were there, like that, it was almost oppressive. That if you like, it's time for everybody to go. Like, just toward the end, it was like there was a spirit there that was almost pushing the other spirits from being able to communicate. Like,
oh wow.
Yeah.
Whatever it was strong. I don't know.
It wasn't bad necessarily.
Well, I mean, going by like a technology point, you know, like my millimeter, I set max to 200 milligauss, you know, because you're not usually going to get a fluctuation that high. And it fluctuated so high, I just had dots across the screen. And that's when, you know, most of us started getting nauseous, dizzy. Like there was just some energy there that was kind of, I wouldn't say unwelcoming because we didn't feel forced out, but we just didn't feel right. Yeah.
Right. And then in the tech shed, you got touched before, right?
Yes. So there's actually been, I did. So in the tack house, yeah. So we know William is in there. William Neal, was a former owner of the place. His nickname was Curly. So, but he's very much about respect. You go in, once you go in the front door, you go in the second room, turn the lights off, put your hand out, say, nice to meet you. My name's such and such. And I felt something grab my hand, like it was shaking my hand while my hand was out. Yeah, very light. So on our second time there, you know, we had brought my son and his friend, and I brought them in there to introduce him to William and turned all the lights out. Again, I said, you guys both put your hands out. You know, I'm going to introduce you to William. And my son's friend felt the same thing. Something grabbed his hand and shook his hand. Yeah. So, yeah. And then, of course, the young lady, Jolene's daughter, we had there doing an Estes method. We had set her up in that same spot. And then we tell her, you know, once we're getting done with the Estes, we do this. You know, we rub your shoulder.
Back to her to show her.
Don't be scared. It's just us pulling you out of the Estes method. And it was maybe 2 minutes into the Estes method. She takes the headphones off. She goes, what did you guys need? And we were all like within 5 feet away from her. We're like, what do you mean? She goes, you just touched my arm to tell me to take the headphones off. We're like, we didn't tell you.
Pointed at me like it was almost the same feeling as when I did it to show her how we were going to pull her out.
So he's pretty cool spirit in there. We really enjoy it.
Except I think Michael was saying you had a not so great experience in there, right?
Yeah,
Michael. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the
tack house?
No, not the tack house.
Yeah. We were at the American flag, right? Or no?
When that happened with your head?
Yeah.
No, we were at Acadia.
No, the Etsy one.
No, we were at Acadia. We were sitting in that main room.
Yeah. So we were in the big room, and I wanted to try it, and everything was going good. We were getting the responses. They were asking questions, and the responses were spot on with the questions that they were asking. Well, all of a sudden, it was like a film strip. Okay, I see a young girl walk up to this cowboy, and I think it was an Indian. I want to say it was an Indian girl or Hispanic. I'm not sure, but he shot her point blank range, and I started crying. I said, I can't. It was so real to me, like it had just happened outside.
Wow. Oh wow!
And they're like, "Well, she's not doing that anymore." And I'm like, "Yeah."
Was that the same time you got the knot?
I think that was a different time. The knot was weird. We were in the morgue area, and I started getting a headache and this lump and I got a lump on my head. No rhyme or reason. Well, I went to the doctor the next day because it was big, and he goes, "How did this happen?" I'm like, "A door."
You can't tell them, right? You can't tell them.
No, he did say I had a concussion, and the lump was there. I don't know how they did it or why, but yeah, I got a lump on my head.
Wow. I would only think maybe spider bite or, insect bite or something, but yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, we debunked everything, and it's like, nope, somebody somehow I mean, it's not the first time I've been attacked, but that was the first time where, I got a lump from it. I mean, I've had scratches. I've been pushed off a side of a mountain and things like that. So
wait, what?
Yeah.
No big deal. Pushed off a mountain.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Well. Oh, let me explain that. I just say things casually. So here in Colorado Springs, I went to an event and I was picking up on a murder suicide, and so I went with this gentleman, and we were getting all the hits. The trail he happened to go on, the boyfriend, I think it was Trail 666, oddly enough. And it's up in the mountains. And what we think happened is the boyfriend killed the girlfriend, chopped her up, and then he killed himself. So we were getting close, and I was up on this little, I had to climb up. It was like a little hill, and we were getting close to where he actually did the deed because of based on the things that we were getting. And all of a sudden, it was like I just get shoved right in front, and I go down. Thank goodness my friend was there. He goes, and he was a psychic too, medium. He goes, he just pushed you, didn't he? I'm like, yeah, he did.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
So
scary.
it was. And that was when I was just still coming into like all of my gifts back then. But yeah, it was. And then we didn't realize that we were on Trail 666 until after we left, which was crazy. So, but it still remains unsolved. So
wow. So where, which location or where's your bucket list? Where would you want to go that you haven't been? What's on your bucket list?
Well, I would say there's definitely a few. Like Pennhurst is definitely one I want to get to eventually. Yet it's so far from Arizona. And I definitely want to get to the Winchester house one day, just because I don't know. If you guys follow me, watch some of my videos, I like debunking legends. I like to find things and say, no, this might not be plausible, but who knows? But with the legend of the Winchester, where Miss Winchester was told by psychic mediums that there was spirits there, and the way to keep them away was to build. Not necessarily her experiencing this, and maybe I don't have all the information on the legend, but I would love to get there and just do it myself. I would love to investigate myself. Let's see if this was purely madness, psychological madness, or were there really spirits there? And you can search it on the web, YouTube, whatnot. There's so many, nationally televised shows. We won't mention names that have been there, that have done, seances in the rooms she supposedly did and got all this activity. But I've already debunked some of these TV shows, like in locations, from what they're saying. I would love to go there myself and just investigate it and just to see what we feel. Being like I said, clairsentient ourselves. She's a little bit more than me. Going into that place, you can just tell right away there's an energy here that's not normal. I guess normal is the right word. But that's definitely a place I want to get to amongst, a million. And ultimately, we want to get to the East Coast because that stuff's just way older than the 1,800 mining towns that are out here, So
sorry, I just want to note we can't see the comments when people are commenting because their screen is so tiny.
I was just about to read it because I know your screen is small. Colleen said Winchester doesn't have anything evil there, that she's been there and investigated. And then she said a lot of activity, though.
Okay.
Where at?
Winchester.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I would love to go. There's a lot of places in the East Coast I would love to go to also because it's just,
Oh, for real? Like Gettysburg? That would be great. Just
I know. That's on my bucket list. So Winchester, is it in San Francisco? Is it north?
It is Northern California, but
I think it's by San Francisco. It's like 11 hours from here, from Mesa.
Okay.
Right? Something like that. Yeah, if that helps. But I think it's by San Francisco.
I think that's Vince. He said for sure with Winchester.
Yeah, which wasn't far from, what was that, Virginia City? Wasn't that close to that?
Arena. So there's
Virginia City, Nevada. I don't know if you guys heard of that place.
There's Clown Town. So there's a place
I've heard of Clown Town,
and it's close to this. So there's a city in Nevada, which I think might be Virginia City. We've got to look it up, but it's like stuck in time. Everybody is almost, you feel like you're there, period. There's
people walk the streets in period clothing. Like, it's pretty awesome.
There's a haunted theater, of course. And we were watching a show. I'll tell you, there is a paranormal investigator show that I like, or that he doesn't do it all the time or anymore. There's two we really enjoy, but Jack Osborne was there.
Yeah, I love Jack. Yeah.
And he had brought Kelly, his sister, and she didn't know that she had sensitivity, that she had any of the things until they were there, and just her experiences and seeing it. And I know it's TV and I know it can be faked, but it just felt like from watching it, the viewer, like so genuine, and it really like hit our places of
caught our interest. Yeah, for sure.
Colleen said Virginia City, the Billionaires Club, and then she said Tonopah, Nevada has the Clown Hotel.
Okay.
San Jose is the Winchester House.
Yeah, that's what we both said. The San Jose is the Winchester House.
Yeah. Which is just south of San Francisco.
South of San Francisco. Yeah.
So, what's your favorite place that you've been to so far?
Besides the Queen Mary. So I want to tell you, before I was doing this, like the investigating and things, I went to Alcatraz, since we're on San Francisco.
I love to go there.
Oh my gosh, you lucky duck.
So I did not have any kind of equipment or anything with me, but I had a friend who had known me really well as someone who was just always outgoing and always on. And I was like, I talk a lot. And I said, when we go in here, you're going to see a side of me that you've never seen. And we were like together, it's like always together for like 6 years. And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, you'll just know. And I already knew, like, just walking in, and I had the little headphones on, and she's like, come on, let's go. And I was like, no, I'm here. And like some of the cells are open so you can go into them and like different things. And just there happened to be an author too at the end. I mean, a lady who had lived there as a child as one of the employees' children that was there, and like she had written a little book about her experiences and things. So I could talk to her after, but afterwards my friend's like, oh, now I see. because there was like just that feeling the heaviness. And I would love, I don't know if they let you do investigations. I can't imagine the amount of money they'd have to sacrifice to shut it down for a paranormal team to come in. But it was just like incredible being there. So one of my favorite haunted locations, and I would say there's something there. But without investigating, but the one that, so.
Yeah, I think the favorite one we've investigated, and man, it's so hard to say, right? So like Queen Mary just had so much activity and so much, call and response, direct responses with them. Shoot, we even believe we caught an apparition in our window while we were doing the live that night.
Awesome.
Which I have footage. It's on my I think it's on the TikTok. It's kind of hard to see. It lasts for like a half a second. And it just kind of goes by the window like really quick, like a white mist. But it was a full spectrum camera, so it looks all pink, but you can see something go by the window. But that's as far as activity. But I don't know, like one of my favorite places, literally the Elks Lodge out in Globe, Arizona. I don't know. It just felt like the activity there was great. The responses there were great. I feel like we didn't even get to like 2 of the floors that night because we were like so stuck in the basement with the communications we were getting. The 4th floor, with like they call them the throne room, with the big chairs, like, they should be all in robes or whatever, black robes up there. But I like that place. Hi, Molly, if you're watching. But yeah, we definitely got to get back there. It's one of my places so far, but that list is still going to continue because we ain't going to stop doing this anytime soon.
Colleen said Alcatraz is another great place now that there has activity, but not evil, but just think the jail. And then she said she can't wait for B340. That's what the room she's staying in at the Queen Mary.
Yep.
Yeah, and that was empty when my mom went there. So their part of their tour that they did, they got to go in that room. And
that's what she got that room reserved. You're right, Colleen. You should go back to the Elks Club.
I will tell you this, Colleen, too. From what we heard, and we're not ruining anything, but from what we've heard, they keep a Ouija board in that room for anybody that rents the room to use. And Shawndel and I were, thinking about it, like, shoot, not everybody knows how to close a Ouija session.
Right.
So I don't know if there's something, if you can just literally close any open,
someone else.
Let's start by closing the session unless you want to open, just saying. But that to me was like a warning sign, like be careful there.
Wow.
Yeah. Another cool place that you guys should go is Portland and Oregon and
love it.
Astoria, and it's the Shanghai tunnels out there.
Yeah, the underground tunnels and
I lived out there and got to do the underground walk, and we'll have my friends on in October. They do ghost tours for the underground in Astoria, but what would happen is the Shanghai, they have these trap doors built underneath bars, and that's how they got China, and they Shanghai.
They would Shanghai them, yeah.
Drug men, and
they would just pull the thing from underneath, and it'd fall through the floor, right?
These men would wake up on ships, and because of the laws and things at the time,
the activity, and people lived down there. Had house, basically like a house down there and stuff.
Wow.
It's pretty amazing. I got in Portland. I went on the tour and got touched and had a lot of. My nephew and I had a lot of experience, but it's historically, it's just also it's just unbelievably cool.
Yeah. Wow. Colleen says she'll make sure the Ouija board is cleansed before she uses it.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we could plan a trip to Portland because we're heading to Michigan next month. So after that, maybe we'll head to Portland.
Let's see. What does she say? Portsmouth has the same thing. That they would have them do bordellos.
Yeah.
Have them at the bordellos. So, I mean, like I said, I know you guys are going to Michigan. Where's the farthest you've been to do an investigation from Arizona?
Well, we've been to, Utah and California. I'm not sure the miles, but we did kind of a little route through Utah. We went on like a ghost town, like a mining ghost town investigation. We went to Grafton, Utah, which is amazing. It's like it almost looks like it's preserved, but they take care of it, but it's like all original. We didn't get to really do an investigation per se there. I mean, we had our K2s. We were able to sneak into the basement of the one place, and just kind of check it out. But we did get some call and response on our K2s. We did get some like energies that shouldn't be there around there. And then after Grafton, we did Frisco. So Frisco is one of the most violent mining towns ever in Utah. They were saying there was up to at least a death a day, if not more, while it was open there. So we did Frisco, and they have these famous kilns, charcoal kilns, which they use to smelt the minerals and stuff for mining.
Shaped like beehives.
Yeah. If you look up the Frisco kilns, you'll see them. They're pretty cool looking. And we did the Frisco Cemetery. So Frisco,
I said very cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
so the Frisco, what?
That was my scariest experience. Actually, happened in the Frisco beehive thing in the kiln, and it wasn't me. My parents were with us, and Mike and his youngest went into one. My parents went into another. There are 3 kilns, and then me and my 2 boys were in the middle in one of them. There's 4 of them, but so we're separated out, and we turn off. It's dark. We turn everything off. We have like a K2 maybe. That's it. Like me and my boys in there, and my older son's they each had a chair and I didn't, so I was crouched down by my 14-year-old. My older son's sitting across from us, and I'm like, we can ask questions. We can it'll get call and response on this EMF reader.
This is his first time on an investigation ever.
Yeah. So my 18-year-old sits there and goes, and I'm like, what's wrong? He's like, and like almost starts hyperventilating. And I went over to him and I put my arm on him, and he grabbed my arm, and he's like, they're just so angry. Everyone's so angry.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, okay, do you want to go out? And he's like, I can't move. They won't let me. They don't want me to move. They're just so angry. And I sent Caden out to go get Mike because I didn't know how to pull him. And I'm usually good at like pulling out, pushing the things away. And we had already told the kids, no, you don't get to go sit in the car. You're going to be doing this with it, And he's always like been sensitive, but I was scared for him and what he was seeing and going through, and that I didn't know, like at that point, like what to do for him. Mike had to come and like kind of talk him down.
I came in, I threw some bracelets on him, something that's going to help him ground him. I just kind of held him and told him, it's okay. Let's get you out of here. Let's take a deep breath. And we took him, not really off the property, but away from the kilns, and just had him stay out there. And then eventually he sat in the car. We didn't realize, how sensitive he is to this, that it overwhelmed him that quickly.
And that was just when he sat down and opened himself up, because like the rest of us walking around doing like moving, the whole time, it wasn't until we said, let's sit down and talk to these, that I think he let that switch flip in his mind. And he was like, never again. I will never again let that switch flip in my mind. And he's always been a little different, but, nobody's in the kiln having anything going on. So it was the town and this town was spread out. Like even you
guys got to go if you haven't been. It's amazing.
And just to really find the things and go around, everything was so spread out. So it was almost like we had called the spirits from all around, like that had been to Frisco.
We felt like they had so much to say, like up by the kilns, which was generally the work area. It was like a male presence, like male voices coming through, like our portals, EVPs. Like it was very much a male presence there. But then that would segue us down to the cemetery, which is at the bottom of the hill, which is 75% children.
Oh, wow.
And we haven't really heard an exact reason why, but I know at one point they got a bad water source. So it was a dysentery that had taken a lot of the children. So all the kids stayed in the car. They would not come into the cemetery. So Shawndel and I were doing a live there one night, just a live Estes method session, right? So she was getting ready, and we usually, you ground yourself, give us a thumbs up when you're fully grounded, ready to go. And she had heard talking at one point. She says, "Who is that? Kids?" And then you had heard.
Yeah, before I hadn't put the headphones on, but I started put the blindfold on, and then I was like, I hear footsteps. Like there's one of the kids is coming up, and Mike said, "What?" And then he stops and he hears footsteps. He's like, "You hear that?" I'm like, "Yes."
I grabbed the camera, ran around the bush. Something was walking at us through the gravel.
Wow.
Yeah, it was the craziest thing. And I was like, hello, looking around, and nobody was around. And the weirdest thing was none of our cameras caught it. We had digital recorders going. None of the digital recorders picked up the sound. Nothing. So, and that opens a whole new question. Was it audible, or does the spirits want us to hear that without it actually being audible to our recorder?
Right.
Also, our kids are teenagers, and they were not stuck or trapped in the car. The windows are down in Frisco.
Somebody said they were reporting us because our kids were waiting for us in the car. Yeah.
I just want to say it would be like if they were sitting in chairs right outside of the cemetery. Like, it's fine. But there was nothing neglectful going on. But they but those footsteps, it was so crazy.
It was real. It was undeniable. Just hearing the gravel pushing away, as they were coming to us right behind the bush. It was creepy.
Somebody on the live told Mike when I was doing that there was somebody. They said there's somebody to the left behind her, which was the right or whatever. And Mike
it was to my left, yeah.
Yeah. And so they hadn't seen, he didn't see anything, but it would have been if those footsteps kept coming and had gotten there. But somebody else watching through the phone was like.
So then after that happened, we continued the Estes method. And the direct responses were amazing. Like we were getting responses, when did you die? 1800s. But through the whole Estes method, we had learned that this woman was a lady of the night prostitute that had worked there. And I don't know if this is normal back then, but she might have got pregnant or had a baby in secret or something, but the baby was removed from her. And then, so she, and who knows who took the baby with that whole wave of dysentery going through that was, killing children. She vocalized was that she was there looking for her child is why she was in the cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So and we felt that presence, we heard it, and we got direct responses from the spirit. So it's a really cool, and we don't honestly always get a lot of activity in cemeteries. I mean, Pinal Historic we did, someone was talking to my ear. I don't know what the hell it was.
Something touched Donna's neck.
Something touched Donna's neck. Yeah, but not everywhere. Not all.
And that wasn't until we went to the back corner. Yeah, so.
Storming outside, my lights are blinking. I'm like, what the hell is that? Now I hear the thunder. But
I wish you guys could come out to Cripple Creek. They're doing another Paracon in June. Cripple Creek, Colorado, very historic town.
Yeah, she's told me about Cripple Creek before.
Yeah.
That's not that far from us, but it still is.
Yeah.
When is that?
That's in June.
Next year.
Next year, yeah.
It already happened this year, but next year, I'm definitely going to go. This year, I just, with all my weird medical crap,
I think one of my twins. Severe storm alert, dust storm warning. Okay, I think one of my twins may be sensitive. We were on one of the ghost tours in Illinois, and I took Leroy with me, and he had so many personal experiences. And we were in this one room. It was the ladies' ward at the tuberculosis clinic, and we were sitting there, and he goes, any pretty ladies in here with us? And he was sitting on the arm of the couch, and he felt somebody sit on the couch next to him. So I hear him go, "Oh shit!" I was like, "What?" And then he told me, and we were he went in this other room. They called it the demon room for whatever. The walls were painted black, and it had all kinds of pictures and stuff on it. He got overwhelmed, like something. He just had this I can't say a panic attack. Maybe it was an anxiety attack or something. And we actually had to take him out of the building and sit him outside because he just got so overwhelmed and he got touched and he just had so much stuff going on. And I'll tease him. I say, Leroy, you want to go ghost hunting? He go, fuck no. So
you said the F word. You said the F word first.
I know, I said the F word first. That's Michael's favorite. We went to the first time I realized I was sensitive was we were at the Clifton Hotel in Clifton, Arizona. What does Vince say? Saw advertisement for Cripple Creek Paracon. Lots of big teams going like Jason Hawes. Oh, cool. So
I'd love to meet Jason.
The Clifton Hotel had a lot of activity, but I went to the Clifton Cemetery. It was me, my sister, and it was two other ladies. I didn't know until that day. And we walked around one part of the cemetery where the adults were, nothing. We go over to the kids section, and I just started having all this anxiety, and just felt sick, and my head was hurting, and my stomach was upset. I was like, what the hell is going on? And she said, we should look into that and go, oh, cool. And then I was like, okay, I got to go. And they were like, well, let's get you out of here. Let's get you out of here. I was like, yeah, I just felt horrible. My sister had to drive. That's how bad I was feeling. We drove my car down there. I was like, and I think it was Colleen that told me that I was a sensitive.
Yeah.
Like, that was crazy to me. Yeah, we need to go back there. It's like 4 hours from here, maybe 3 for me, but it's 4 hours from Phoenix. But they were I was recording, had my video camera set up, and they were some of the ladies, because we went with K-Hall Crew Paranormal, and they were doing a seance, and I didn't catch it on the camera, but a painting flew off the wall and hit my camera, almost knocked it over. Them respond. They were like, "Did you see that? Did you see that?" And so, like I said, I didn't catch it, but like I said, it hit the camera. You could see the camera do this. And then my sister, she was up front. We were standing in the front of the hotel, and there's a spirit of a little, maybe more than one kid there. There was this. It's like a clown. And it's got wheels on the side, and it's like a little metal thing where it goes back and forth like this. And the little clown started moving by itself. And we were sitting there like, oh, check that out. And then my sister get poked in the butt. It felt like somebody took their finger and poked her in the butt.
She's always getting poked in the butt.
Oh, a little prankster there, huh?
Yeah. So they said the cemetery was such, what is it? DICHOTO.
A dichotomy.
Dichotomy, okay. Good during the day, and at night it's a whole different vibe. Yes, it was. She said the darkness come out, but it was definitely a whole different vibe. But I wouldn't mind going back there. We should arrange that.
Yeah, I don't think we've been there before, Clifton. I've had that kind of on my scope. I've seen it a little bit.
Yeah, the hotel is an Airbnb, so we can like everybody get together and pitch in, and she'll let us rent it out. I'm friends with her on Facebook.
Yeah, count us in. Count us in. We would love that. Absolutely.
Ben said, dang, I missed the cemetery, but the jail was very cool. Oh, there's a jail. We went into there was a train depot there too that we kept getting a lot of responses in. And so they had a tour guide that took us around. Yes, Colleen, we should definitely do that again.
We're in on that one.
Yeah, definitely. Well, you know what? I keep saying I'm gonna talk to the team and do it and see if everybody want to get in and do it. And then get in touch with the lady that manages the place. I don't know if she actually owns it. I think she manages it. But yeah, it's a very cool spot. When we went, I think it was like a few weeks before we got there that he said the jail's across the street from the that's right, Vince. We did go in there. It was crazy. It was like this just brick walls, and it's kind of like you walk down and you go underground almost for the jail. And yeah, that was kind of crazy. I did go there. Yeah, he agreed. She said, let's go, Vince and Mike, can do it.
I want to do it.
We're down. We're ready. Mid to late September. Late September. Yeah, let's do it.
I know, right? Well, we're going to the the Phelps Dodge Hospital, September 26th, but October is pretty open.
Oh, yeah. We're going on the 29th with Vince. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You guys are going first. Yeah. He said, the jail is built into the mountain. And he said we're down. So yeah, Vince, we're gonna plan it. Yeah, we're gonna plan to go to Clifton. I'll have to get in touch with everybody.
My family wanted to take us when we went to Gleason. Remember, we were gonna try it. It was yesterday. We went to Bisbee instead.
Because we always have fun when we work together. So.
Oh, I know. She said they sold the apothecary, which is where the demon was. So we were in this. The apothecary, and there was this demon that was, and he was. After Colleen, he kept trying to get Colleen to come to him, and she was like, "No, I'm not." She was like, "No." So he just kept antagonizing her, and she was like, "Yeah." So there was the owner had said that she had a tenant that lived upstairs, and I forgot.
In a minute.
Yeah, well, yeah, we could definitely ask Shell, and she went upstairs for whatever reason, and this dude had a pentagram on the floor, had candles burning, and it's like he invited this spirit, this evil spirit in, and she was like trying to get rid of it or whatever. She ended up putting him out. Oh yeah, she got the drawing. Okay, yeah, she got the drawing. Okay, cool. And she ended up putting him out, and she sold the building. She ended up selling the building, but yeah, she couldn't get rid of this evil spirit. But yeah, that was crazy.
Wow.
Okay, definitely. Well, all right. It's like 8:11. I sure appreciate you guys coming on. It's been great.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like we can talk all night.
Oh, she said it was an upside down pentagram. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, not the good kind.
Yeah, she still did talk to us for a while, telling us about all the activity in the store. So yeah, it was pretty cool. But yeah, we'll talk to Shell and see what. I think we rented our rooms individually. I think that's how we did it before. Is that right, Colleen? We paid for our own rooms, and she gave us, I think she'll give us like a special price. She said, "Thanks, I love you guys."
Thank you.
I was waiting to see, but if she responds to that question.
Do you guys have a contact information or website that you'd like to plug in or anything?
Yeah,
well,
put it in.
We're on TikTok, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube. On the TikTok it's just Ecto Mike, but everything else it's Ecto Mike and Graves, just because that's where TikTok started. Where we started doing the platform. But yeah, when we post the content all throughout, we try to get content up twice a week, but sometimes it's only once a week. But yeah.
Does Ecto Mike and Graves have a Facebook page? Because I know I have your personal page. Okay.
Yeah. So Ecto Mike and Graves, the Facebook, we don't. I do it, and I'm not good. We need followers. We need to get in there, but I work and have kids, and I'm the mom.
Yeah, there's the Facebook. Yeah, Facebook, TikTok, Insta, and YouTube. So
and Ecto Mike and Graves, it's spelled out, or the and sign on there, I think.
Ampersand.
Yeah, but our logo is the same on all of them.
That's how I found you on TikTok.
Yeah, you just look up Ecto Mike, you'll find us anyway. Yeah. Oh my gosh. We're live. Yeah, we're live.
So Colleen said yes, we did rent the rooms individually.
Perfect. All right, yeah, do it. I'm down.
Yeah, definitely. All right, guys. Well, you have a good rest of your night. I appreciate you coming on, or we appreciate it. And she will block off the date and only allow us to rent the rooms. Right? She will rent the whole place to us.
Wonderful.
Perfect. All right. Bye, Donna. Bye, Michael. Nice meeting you finally.
Nice to meet you, and we'll talk soon. Thank you so much for joining us.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Oh, got to end stream first.
Yep.